Today, you'll discover the complete story of the Bible. You will journey through both the Old and New Testaments, from creation to the final revelation. Prepare to be transformed. On this epic journey, every page of the Bible will come to life before your eyes. The promise is clear. The invitation has been made. Dive in and let the Bible transform your life. It all began in the beginning, before time itself. In the absolute void, only God existed. God never had a beginning. He has always been. He has no origin. He is the origin of everything. He was not created. He is the creator. Suddenly, a burst of light tore through the void. "Let there be light," commanded a powerful voice, and the universe filled with a blinding brilliance. The heavens stretched forth and the earth rose up, blanketed by vast oceans and barren landscapes. God surveyed his creation, and in the quiet he decided on the next step. "Let us make man in our image." With emotion, he sculpted from dust a being in his likeness. "Adam," he declared, and the man opened his eyes, beholding a world freshly born. Yet something was missing. God saw the solitude in Adam's eyes and, with firm resolve, determined, "It is not good that man should be alone." While Adam slept, God took a ribbon from it, fashioned Eve. Upon waking and seeing her, Adam's astonishment was complete. "Flesh of my flesh," Adam exclaimed, unable to look away. And from that moment on, man and woman joined together to become one. But in the Garden of Eden, not everything was peaceful. In the shadows, a cunning figure watched. The serpent, with a malicious grin, slithered up to Eve. "Did God really say you shouldn't eat from any tree in the garden?" it whispered, sowing doubt. Eve hesitated but replied, "We may eat the fruit of all the trees except the tree of the knowledge of good and evil." "You will not die." The serpent's voice grew more intense, filled with seduction. "Rather, your eyes will be opened and you will be like God, knowing good and evil." The desire to know the forbidden ignited in Eve's heart. She took the fruit and ate, also offering it to Adam, who without hesitation did the same. Suddenly, they realized their nakedness and felt shame for the first time. In that moment, the garden transformed. The skies darkened and thunder boomed. God appeared, his face a mixture of pain and fury. "What have you done, Adam?" His voice resounded like a hammer. Adam, trembling, pointed to Eve. "The woman you gave me offered me the fruit and I ate." Eve, with tears in her eyes, murmured, "The serpent deceived me." The verdict was swift and devastating. "Cursed is the ground because of you. In pain you shall eat of it all the days of your life," declared God. And to Eve, "I will greatly multiply your pain in childbirth. In pain you shall bring forth children." The serpent was sentenced to crawl on its belly and eat dust. The harmony of Eden was shattered forever. Adam and Eve, expelled from paradise, faced a harsh and unknown world. As they walked away, the garden faded from their view, and the first sunset outside of Eden was stained red. The creation of the universe, filled with wonders and tragedies, marked the beginning of an eternal story of struggle, redemption, and hope. In the arid plain east of Eden, Adam and Eve had two sons, Cain and Abel. Cain, the firstborn, toiled under the blazing sun, clearing weeds. Abel, his younger brother, led his flock across the grasslands, his face lit by a peace unknown to Cain. One day Cain shouted, "Abel, God seems pleased with you, but not with my offerings. What do you have that I don't?" Abel, gently petting one of his lambs, replied calmly, "It's the heart, brother. God looks at the heart." Abel's words echoed in Cain's mind like a relentless drumming. Days passed and envy grew within him like a dark shadow. One night, under a star-studded sky, Cain made a decision. "Come to the field with me tomorrow," he said to Abel, his eyes hiding his true intentions. At dawn, the brothers met in the fields. The tension was palpable, the air thick. "Why does God favor you and not me?" Cain asked, his voice a dangerous whisper. "It's about our faith, Cain. God wants us to sincerely offer the best," replied Abel, unaware of the looming threat. Suddenly the calm of the field was shattered by a harsh sound. Cain, with a stone in hand, struck Abel on the head. Abel fell to the ground, his eyes filled with surprise and pain. "Cain, my brother," he murmured, before his voice was silenced forever. The earth, which until that moment had been a stage of life, became the first witness to the oldest crime. Abel's blood soaked into the earth, crying out for justice to the heavens. Cain, with trembling blood-stained hands, looked on in horror at what he had done. Suddenly a voice echoed in his mind, strong and omnipotent. "Where is your brother Abel?" "I don't know. Am I my brother's keeper?" Cain replied, his voice broken by fear and guilt. God sternly declared, "Your brother's blood cries out to me from the ground. You shall be cursed, banished from this land that has opened its mouth to receive your brother's blood." At that moment, Cain's life was forever changed. The earth, which once bore fruit under his care, turned barren. He wandered as an outcast, marked by his sin, burdened with being the first murderer in history. Time passed, but the earth became corrupt. The wickedness of man was great. God, looking down in sorrow, decided to put an end to the depravity. In this darkness, one man stood out for his righteousness: Noah. The voice of God thundered, deep and clear, "Noah, I have decided to destroy all flesh, for the earth is filled with violence because of them. Build an ark of cypress wood. Make rooms in the ark and cover it inside and out with pitch." Without hesitation, Noah obeyed. He worked tirelessly, every hammer strike resonating as a judgment against the world's corruption. His neighbors mocked him, their laughter dripping with scorn. "Building a boat on dry land, Noah, you're mad." "Judgment is coming," Noah replied, his voice steady and his eyes filled with conviction. Days turned into months and months into years. At last, the ark was completed. "Take your family and 2 of every kind of animal. The flood will cover the earth," God commanded. Tension mounted as the animals, led by an unseen force, marched into the ark. The doors shut, and a foreboding silence enveloped the earth. Then, the sky darkened suddenly. The first drops fell, followed by an unrelenting downpour. At first curious, the people soon filled with panic. "Noah was right," they screamed, running to the ark, pounding desperately on the doors. "Let us in." But it was too late. The waters rose swiftly, swallowing cities and mountains. Inside the ark, Noah and his family listened to the tumult of divine judgment, their hearts filled with fear, yet also with hope. For 40 days and 40 nights, the rain did not cease. The ark rose upon the waters, floating on an endless sea of destruction. The cries outside faded away, replaced by the eerie sound of water and the creaking of wood. At last the flood abated, and the ark rested on Mount Ararat. Noah, trembling, opened the window and released a dove. On the 3rd attempt, the dove returned with an olive leaf in its beak. "The land is dry," Noah announced, his voice filled with hope. God spoke again. "Leave the ark, you and your family. Populate the earth and multiply." With tears in his eyes, Noah obeyed. He built an altar and offered sacrifices to God. "I establish my covenant with you," said God,